Chubby blue blood flowing through our veins. Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old style beers out at the game. Let's go, Cubby, Sun Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Sun Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Sun Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Mucho Scali.
Sun Ranto.
Michael.
Sun Ranto.
Cotton.
Sun Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Michael Cotton.
Sun Ranto.
Mucho Scali. Sun
Rising up, back on the street. It is time for Sun Ranto. Hey, welcome to the Sun Ranto Show. My name is Danny Rocket.
I like that, Danny. Why isn't that our song?
It's already been written. Imagine that Sylvester Stallone even gets a cut if I even sing a line.
Oscar.
So welcome to the Sun Ranto Show on the Bleacher Bunch Productions on the Fans First Network, brought to you by all of you. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters. Patreon.com/sunranto or Bleacher Bunch is where you sign up for that. And I'd like to welcome to the show Eric Wheelo. Eric, sponsored by Using Your Sausages and In the Clutch shirts. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Cubes fan Cotton in tow. I will be the first to congratulate you on your NLDS World Series victory, which is really what it was. It was your World Series.
Oh, come on.
It was.
You guys,
you went out there, you flew the L, and now your season is over. Just like that. But you win the World Series and it's over.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I was
2025 champion,
God.
Midwest League World
never
Series. Softball champions, but brought to you by In the Clutch shirts and Using Your Sausages.
Yeah, we had to do this show this week a little bit early. We had to jump right on it because we wanted to make sure we gave Eric at least a little bit of time to still feel good that his team.
This is bullshit. I wanted to do it Sunday, but Danny was too sad to do it. He's like, I'm not talking about this on Sunday. I'm like, no, we should do it Sunday. Like right after it happened. He was like, no, I'm not going to talk about this. I need some time. So you know who really needed time? You motherfuckers, because I was ready to go.
I covered the mirrors. I was sitting
on ice. You put me on ice.
I just wanted to see what happened because there was really no baseball to speak of at that point.
For you.
Yeah, we were done. Season was over for us. We needed to sit Shiva, covered the mirrors in black crepe.
Yeah, so who's the poor loser now? Let's talk about the L flag 3 days after it fucking happened. That's relevant. That's newsy. Let's talk about the past.
Well, first of all, there's a curse before that curse, and that is the Chris Salados here is talking about the hashtag Crawley flag curse. And if you don't know, that's when Crawley parked at your house, replaced your Brewers flag with a Cubs flag, and then we got our asses handed to us in game one of the series.
And we all knew it was coming when he planted that flag on my property, on my land. Get off my lawn, man. But we knew it was happening. And Crowley was there for it in game 5. Got to see him, got to hang out with him. He got to experience that loss, baby.
The thing that really surprised me about that whole situation was that you already had a Brewers flag out there. I thought Crawley showed up and actually put a flagpole and just did the whole thing. I thought he had like a construction
He's like
crew with him.
installing a
flagpole. I would have appreciated that. No, he asked him to bring the garbage cans in, and then he did that, but I asked him how he got up there, and he said, "Oh, I stood on top of your garbage cans." I'm like, what is like a little bear just climbing up my house?
Well, I mean, he is a little bear. He's a Cub fan, literally a
infested bear just crawling up my house. He's lucky to get shot by one of my neighbors.
Well, he took a chance, a hashtag chance, and you could put a hashtag chance in the chat. You could win a Frank Chance postcard sent to you by me with a message of love and Dune. Chris is here saying it. So is Dominic. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. So yeah, do that now before it's too late and you lose. But we do have to talk about that game 5. Cubs, it was just more of the same, just anemic bats. We just did not hit well in this series. The bats disappeared. They were gone against the Padres, and we ran out of pitching at the end. Just like, maybe if one Seiya Suzuki ball gets hit a little bit harder and a little bit to the left or something like that, then we win. I don't know.
Or if Ian Happ actually had more than warning track power.
Yeah,
like he was just crushing every ball to the warning track.
And then sit there with a bat on his shoulder with a runner on second and third.
Yeah,
just looking.
Yeah. Seiya was the only guy that actually did anything, and solo shots just aren't worth it. Like it's just not. Like I'd rather
hit 3.
Yeah, if you have 3 base hits, you're going to score 1 run, but 3 base hits will actually spark your team. A solo shot is just sort of like, I don't know. It's like
it's like
the difference between masturbation and actual sex. I mean,
it
does the job, but you'd much rather have the other.
Well, I'm looking nice. Nice parallel you just drew there, Michael. Well, I'm putting up the Cubs stats for the postseason here. Michael Busch was our best hitter. This is being sorted by OPS with a 1.128 OPS. He had 4 home runs, and like you said, Michael Cotton, they were mostly solo shots because
why they were mostly solo shots?
They were Reese McGuire's.
I like that. No, the reason that Michael Busch's home runs were solo shots is because he was hitting them
as a leadoff
from
hitter.
The leadoff position. The first fucking bat of the game. And you're showing he was the best offensive force we had. And yet, that cheesehead checkers playing motherfucker council got played by Pat Murphy. Pat Murphy was like, I'm going to put Aaron Ashby out there and take your best player out of the game for 2 at-bats. Like, what the?
Yeah.
Like,
and he just bought it. And then Michael Busch had come up.
Ever.
And then Michael Busch had come up and hit a single off a lefty. And you're like, what?
I think he hit a home run off a lefty later in one of those games.
I thought I don't even know. It's all a blur. But another good hitter for the Cubs was Nico Horner. He batted .419 in the postseason. Seiya did pretty good. He had 3 home runs, but he only batted .226. Kyle Tucker, I mean, you're not paying for this. It's 745 OPS. He did have 1 dong. It was a solo shot late in a game that didn't matter.
Well, and then and here's the thing:
the rest
Nico
of them
Horner,
stunk. Everybody else.
Nico Horner 419. That plays really well with that Seiya Suzuki 226. If Seiya is hitting that ball when Nico is on base, but he's not, because the guy right after him is Kyle Tucker, and he's hitting into double play. And so Seiya is getting up there with nobody on base.
Yeah, 3 home runs, 5 ribbies. Michael Busch, 4 home runs, 4 ribbies.
Nobody's on.
What are we doing here?
On the pod.
But Danny, I think you are making a huge mistake here. RBI is a worthless stat. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't account for, I don't know, runs.
I'm not talking about RBI. I'm talking about ribbies.
Oh, ribbies. My bad.
It's totally different.
Oh, so you're back on the Reese McGuire.
Yeah.
With the ribbies.
You got to get him a ribby. So let's look at the Brewers. Everybody else sucked. So if you think of any other Cubs player on the roster, I'm not even going to name them. They sucked so bad. They were the suckiest suck that ever sucked. And they deserve to go to Cancun, I guess. So that's where they all are.
While we're doing this, though, yes, we should be bitching about this stupid fucking offense. But the Cubs pitching,
we have all show for that.
Yeah, the Cubs pitching was impressive. Outside of the cheesehead checker playing motherfucker out there with the chessboard. I mean, throwing Boyd on short rest. Outside of that,
we'll get to the pitching. Let's compare the Brewers hitting.
But let me talk to you about this. We were basically you, but with 1 extra guy that didn't suck. That was
one extra guy on base when you hit.
Yeah, on base. That didn't suck.
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead.
Outside of the first two games, you got shut out once. The offense was not really knocking the cover off the ball in that final game, but you hit it when you needed to, and then you pulled away. Was it 3-1 was the final?
3-1. Bryce Turang had a solo shot. Andrew Vaughn had a solo shot, and William Contreras had a solo shot. And Bryce did shit that whole series, but play defense. I mean, Andrew Vaughn, 190, but 4 RBIs, couple dongs. It's Jackson Churio was the star of the show in this series for us, especially early on. And Contreras was consistent, and he just did what he had to do and shows up. But I mean, the real question mark here is just Christian Yelich is the most unclutched guy ever for the Brewers, and just in the playoffs, it's just god awful.
Yeah, no home runs and only batting, 192? Yikes.
If you had any offense, you could have won this series.
This outside of that first game, which was a blowout, right? Because didn't you have three-run homers or some shit?
Yeah, that's when Boyd was on the.
Yeah, but outside of that game, these games were very, very tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess we'll talk about the pitching. We'll put the Brewers up first. Freddie Peralta, he took that one loss, but he's been pretty much the workhorse for you guys. He's pitched twice the amount of innings than any other pitcher you have. So 15.1 innings, and then the Miz, really impressive. Now, Eric, you did not want to see Jacob Mizorowski in that final game, and then he really did it. He did a number.
He was the one guy I didn't want to see because I didn't trust him because he walks too many batters. And then in a game 5, it's like, okay, so here's what the Miz is doing to me. He's fucking cucking me. That's what he's doing right now. He like shit the bed in the last half of the season, right? And then he comes in, he's getting the confidence up. He goes those 4 innings. Has 2 great games against you guys. And now guess who's probably going to get the start in game 3 of this game? Jacob Mizorowski against the Dodgers. And this is what's going to happen. He's going to fuck it up. I'm telling you. I just don't trust the kid. Hey, I applaud him. It's great experience. That's forever going to be remembered for me when it comes to him and the future that he has with the Brewers is what he did in that game 5. But Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't know enough about the Brewers to really be able to judge like whether he should actually start a game or not. But it seems like Pat Murphy has understood how to use him up to this point, like not starting, bringing him in like the 3rd inning and letting him get 3 to 4 innings seems like a good play. And if he goes away from that, I'm going to be kind of surprised, but I will have to say,
well, they don't have any choice.
I think that will be the strategy. We'll go with the opener, and then we'll go to Miz. But like a rookie at Dodger Stadium during the playoffs. I mean, those fans do show up late, but for playoff games, they're there a little early. Hostile environment. It's like, do you really want to put that pressure on the kid? He's good at home.
Because whatever, it's not going to be any worse than it was at Wrigley for people who actually know who he is and hate him. Like, it's worse. Really don't care.
It's worse. I mean, Dodger Stadium is. You might as well just be at San Quentin. Really, it's kind of how it feels.
I think that's for the fans. I don't know that that's the same for.
The players are somewhat protected. I would say more than
the fans are a lot further away. And those fans are not going to be louder than they were at Wrigley or at Miller Park, right? The fans were loud for both.
But look what happened to the Dodgers closer in that game 1, where he's just been nails throughout the playoffs. And then he gets that, he's on the road closing situation and he almost blew it. Like, you don't think the crowd affected that in any way for a young guy that's like been shaky all season? Yeah, like I saw that and I'm like, this could be the Miz.
I'm saying that's not going to happen in LA. That stadium is not built that way. They're further away from
I don't know. I think it's really hostile. I think it's one of the hardest places to play in baseball. I think the Brewers are fucked.
I've been there.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it sucks for fans, and I think the fans are a long way away from the players on the field.
It's so loud to that organ in your head, like the scoreboard trolls you. They got that thing pumping at like 25. It's so loud. It's an intimidating place to play.
So if
the Brewers are screwed.
If they're just turning it up to 11,
we'll
that's
get to
one
that
thing. But the fans won't be the ones turning it up to 11. That's my.
Anyways,
no, they're not even going to be there till the third inning.
No, they won't. But
they won't be there till the 11th.
Yeah. So
I want to say this though. You were talking about Craig and the micromanaging and whatever. Like you guys had no arms, and I was sitting here watching this game, and it's like Colin Ray, and you just let him go and let him go and let him go. And Andrew Vaughn squared him up in his first round against him, and then on the second one, I'm just like, Vaughn's going to hit a home run. This is one too many. Vaughn's going to hit a home run, and he hit a home run. And then you go to Kittredge, and it's just like, how long are we going to roll with this guy? And I was just like, one batter too many for a guy that it's just, but you had no arms.
We were one pitcher short at least
to get you out of those two spots, because like, I don't know if you guys felt it with Ray against Vaughn, and then Kittredge, his home run was against Bryce Terang. It's like, I felt it both times. I'm like, you got to go to somebody here.
Yeah. With the way,
they just, and it's not that they didn't have anybody to go to. I think the pitching was nails. I mean, they were
except for Shota. I think Shota had a really bad series.
I think Shota,
if Shota was any good
as manager.
Yeah, maybe, but he also sucked. So, he gave up 3 home runs in 6.2 innings. He was doing that at the end of the year. He ended up with an 8.10 ERA and a 1.5 WHIP. He had a crap series, but he kind of went into the series like crap. But if you have a Shota Imanaga that is coming into the series like nails, like it's parts we've seen him pitch when he's been a Cub, not really since he's been injured. But if he comes in like being his best Shota, I think we also have a better chance to win, because those 6.2 innings of his look a lot better, and they might even be. He might have pitched 12 innings.
Yeah, yep. I will agree with you on that. I think that I just think that Craig Counsell put him in bad situations.
What is he supposed to do?
The
opener was dumb.
The opener thing was dumb, and then having Justin Turner standing over at first base when they never needed that, and for some reason, a man that can't throw more than 91 miles per hour is throwing everything inside to every hitter. Like, why are you doing that? Like, he did not use the entire plate. He wasn't using anything on the right side of that plate. And I don't know why, except for possibly the one thing that I could see that's different than every other time is the fucking 40-year-old leprechaun standing over there doing nothing. And I think that Craig Counsell put this fucking
regardless of even
shit player out there, and because of that, he told his pitcher, "Don't throw balls that they'll hit to the right side."
They have to pitch him how they pitch him, But if you did, the fact of the matter is,
got rid of Turner, other guys pitched over there.
Yeah, but I think more of it is like their approach is their approach. But like the fact is, if you're not going to put your best lineup out there, like you don't even have to go as far as you're going with like, oh, he pitched him this way, he pitched it that way. You could just say like Justin Turner should not start or be in the fields. No, period. End of story.
Turner should not even be on this team.
We're going to talk about that later. It's to take a 10th inning at bat and maybe hit a dog. Like that's the only reason.
Matt stares him. Put him in.
I don't even want him taking it at bat unless
it's the only time though that you could fathom that it would make sense.
The only time I want to see Justin Turner in the game is right after PCA pimps a fucking home run and pisses everybody off. Then you put Turner in to take the pitch into his back. Like if you know that pitcher's going to bean somebody, that's Justin Turner's spot.
And he's your future manager. He's your next David Ross. That's why he's here. He's that manager on the bench. They said that a million times. So you're having a coach on the team, guys.
Lead us down to 4th place.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, Bill Sugas is here. Hashtag chancing. David Elliott's hashtag chance.
The whole Turner thing drives me nuts. I mean, you just look at him and he looks like He looks like a 3-year-old with too big a fucking head, and he's like doesn't move properly. Like, yeah, exactly.
I love
got the fucking build of a 3-year-old too,
and he's got one ball. No,
well, he's has prosthetic
he's
balls.
got
Yeah.
3. One of his own and then 2 truck nuts.
Now we have to talk about a few other Brewers things going on.
I want to mix it up with you guys. This bullshit. We're talking about this beforehand. You're sick of this. Okay, we can start.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it right now.
All right, let's do this.
Is this what you're bringing up?
I was going to bring up something else, but
you want to bring up something else first? Okay.
No. Let's go with the L.
All right. Here. So you fly the L, and it's not even the right L. Our L is blue, just so you know.
What's amazing is that they totally thought they had it nailed too. They're like, it's a white flag with the blue W, so we're gonna do the L.
They took it from a fan. A fan had it. It's not like the Brewers had this in their clubhouse and they had this all planned out. It was
other fans
thing. If they had thought it out, they would have flew the W, and that would have been a way better look than this.
Well, also you have your own M that you could easily just turn upside down and mock our flying of the W by turning your M upside down.
Yeah, well,
I know that's impossible to come up with, during a spell of gout and significant amount of Genesee cream ale at the end of a night. It was, usurp your W, spoil the war.
Yeah, how much this just like got everybody riled up. It's insane to me. It's like this is such a bad look, blah blah blah, and it's just like, oh, from our side, it's like you guys just have hurt feelings.
No, it's not. No, we literally know that you just cursed yourself. We have been around this for so long. Yeah. You're tempting the baseball gods, which you do not do, and
I agree with that. They should have flew the W. They shouldn't have flew the L. But it's like one of those things that are in the moment that are going to live in infamy forever, right? But
we'll always have this picture.
This is like, this is such little brother shit, and it's like, you guys fuck off this little brother shit. I come on here and you're like, beating us was the World Series. We've owned your ass for 9 years. This is all I'm going to continue to say to you guys. I've been calling you the little brother on this podcast for a very long time. Last 9 years, we've owned you every year.
We agree
every year. So like this little brother thing, and it's just like, I mean, for some Brewers fans, that probably was their World Series, but those are Brewers fans that I don't want to be associated with. Those are Brewers fans that are okay with settling. Those are Brewers fans that are okay getting swept by the fucking Dodgers in this series because we beat the Cubs, and it was a payroll team. It's the Brewers fans that go, this is David and Goliath against the Dodgers, even though we had the best record in baseball.
You're already crying, I see.
I know, and I don't support those Brewers fans and anybody of the ranters out there. I'm not one of those fans. I want a World Series from this team. I'm sick of being a good enough game. Beating the Cubs was just the first step of it. And the L for me, it's just like, okay, that's a good moment. Was it a good look? No. So it's
at least you understand that it's not a good look. And that was
my
thing.
It's not a good look. If we fly the W, then it's an homage and it's ha, and we're not getting this response. That's the way I feel about it.
My thing is,
in fact, even Cub fans are like, respect. They brought our W out. That's like the spoil the war.
Yeah.
But
that's good sportsmanship. It didn't even bother me in any way that it was an L flag or what, that they were doing it, any of that, right? I don't give a shit. But if that had been my team, I would have hated it. Like if the Cubs had been out there doing some shit like that, like, I don't know, fucking
you don't need to call attention to
Bernie
yourself.
The Brewer or spitting beer on a Bernie the Brewer plushie. I would not like that because that's my team that is doing that dumb shit. Like,
you want positive momentum, punching up, good juju going into this next series, and now you have a distraction. And then an even bigger distraction for me was Pat Murphy in all the pregame interviews leading up to this Dodgers series, saying like, he built the David and Goliath thing. He talked about how much money they spent. He made it seem like he was underselling, hoping that we'd over-deliver and would beat them. But it's like, you can't talk about your team being less than when you have the best record in baseball. And now you're creating that narrative, and you're giving them locker room shit that they can put on their wall of like, oh, they're talking shit. They think that they're like the little man. You had the best record in baseball, Brewers, and you swept the Dodgers this season. Like, stop doing it. It's like, I always say this about the Brewers, and I say this about our fans. Act like you've been there before. Game 1, that crowd is silent. Game 2, we're in it until we're not. Like, act like we've been there before, because we have been here a lot. And it's on these Brewers fans to understand it's like there's a difference of like elite fandom. And if you want to be it, start acting like it. I'm sick of this shit.
Well, did you see the story about Brewers Karen?
Oh, yeah.
Did I go around?
Fuck her.
So this chick, Brewers Karen, I'll play the video. It's kind of hard to maybe hear, but in case you haven't seen Brewers Karen, have you seen it, Michael?
No, I have no idea what you're putting up there.
Why is everybody quiet? Why is everybody quiet? Why is everybody quiet? What is this? I'm sorry.
You know what? Let's call ICE.
Call ICE. Call ICE. I'm a U.S. citizen. We're veteran, baby girl. We're veteran. 2 wars. ICE is not going to do nothing to me. Good luck.
She tries to slap him.
Yeah, she tries to slap.
Wow, what a horrible human.
Can we call her Brewers Karen or Ice Karen?
Ooh, Ice Karen.
Ice Karen.
Ice Karen.
Ice Karen.
I think you call her Karen Ice, just like those old, like
instead of the dink tink, racist.
You remember in the 90s when they had all those like Bud Ice and Miller Ice and all this shit? It was
Karen
just
Ice. Yeah.
all it was a worse version of the beer, but with more alcohol.
Can I
and
just
they called
ask,
it ice.
How do you just go to the beautician and you're like, I'd like the Karen. Give me,
Yes.
I would like cut it into the style of the Karen. I want kind of a bob, but long and spiky-ish.
I just want people to know I'm going to ask for the manager. That's
exactly. I'm gonna, upon walking into this restaurant, I'd like them to know I will be a problem.
and then I guarantee this woman's going to come out and call herself the victim. And I saw people defending her and being like, well, you shouldn't taunt like that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, there's a way to be a good fan at an opposing stadium and talk some shit, but there's a difference between that and being a fucking full-blown racist to somebody's face. You know, like,
yeah, he was literally like, why is everybody being quiet? That's it. That's not.
You've heard it a million times. But that woman's also the same woman that's probably sitting. She's the thing that's the problem with like this fan base. Like, she does not give a shit about this fucking team. Like, she's looking at what the fans are doing. She's
the first thing she said all day was to talk to this guy.
Did we find out if they've like figured out who? I'm sure they figured out who this woman was. And like, look at all the guys sitting around him just doing nothing. It's just like she does this 3 times a week to McDonald's employees.
Yeah, the husband was just laughing. Yeah. He's like, I'm not writing this check.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Terry E. What's bad is the poor bastard Dexter. I had to listen to her on the drive home.
Yeah, how she was the victim of the situation, and how she's the victim that she probably is going to go into work today or tomorrow, and she didn't have a job anymore. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She probably lives in the same place that council's from, White People Bay, Whitefish Bay. You know,
terrible.
Waukesha.
What's hilarious is that she looks exactly like Philly's Karen.
He does.
Because they have, they really could be separated at birth.
They have different glasses frames, and that's it.
The more bird-like you are, I think the more unbearable you are. And that's why Craig Council's unbearable. It's just bird-like people you just can't trust. And you know they're going to fuck things up. Like
bird-like. Ah! So, I mean, it's a rough time for people like us who got to deal with people like them. It's just because
we're dealing with that. We're dealing with fly out. We're dealing with Pat Murphy's big fucking little brother syndrome comments. And then we're going into this Dodgers. A lot of distraction. We didn't need any of it. And then we have Christian Yelich with a bad back. And I wish they'd just sit him because you see him run up the line and it's just not there. He's hurt. And then what we're going to hear at the end of the series? Well, he played through a lot of blame. Okay, well then drop him in the lineup. Don't bat him third or fucking put him on take him out and bring up freaking Reese Hoskins who can actually do something.
Yeah. So, Wheelo, you said you wanted to bring something up. Did we already hit it, or was there actually something else that you wanted to talk about here?
I kind of touched on it and, my diatribe of bullshit, but it was, the one thing was Danny pissing me off saying that this was their World Series. I was like, yeah, for the like bottom level Brewers fans, it was. For me, and me, this wasn't, because you know how I felt about our ownership of the Cubs over the last 9 seasons. The thing with
and the team's really good.
Yeah. The thing with Cotton, I should say, was what we were talking about before this, and how you're hating your fan base for being like, this was a good season for us. We didn't expect a lot, and we brought them to 5 games.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there are what fuck, I always forget this because it's something that's not even a part of my brain. But a spiritual victory or a
moral victory?
Moral victory. Moral victories don't fucking exist. You either lose or you win.
Yeah.
That's it. You want a moral? Play better if you want to win. Shut the fuck up when you lose. Like, that's the moral if you want a moral fucking victory.
And for Cub fans, we had Jed Hoyer.
Exist.
I mean, a lot of this is coming from straight up above because we're all supposed to feel good about it because Jed Hoyer feels good about it. He's fine with 92 wins. He's like, well, the Brewers just had a lot more wins, so we came in, he's like, and then he blamed the fact that we had to play the wild card series, the fact that we weren't ready to come out swinging against you guys. And I'm like, well, guess what? If you win the division, then you're not going to have these problems. But he's like, well, we're just going to have to win it with 93, I guess, then next year. Like
make some bigger splashes to like strengthen that bullpen, or maybe add a bat and
not doing shit.
The trade deadline, and then you're going to blame it on we didn't make the wild card because your team's just burnt out because that's what you do.
Here's
or
the issue:
play the actual fucking good players on your team, and not fucking. Raul Iglesias. I don't know who the fuck that is, but that could have been a guy on our bench that played third base 4 games this year. We don't know. We got Justin Turner out there fucking taking games. Like, we got fucking assholes out there who aren't good players, and they're taking the spot of our good players. And at the end of the year, we lose to the Brewers by 5 games. And I'll tell you right now, it is not because the Brewers went on 2 amazing runs.
Went on 1 amazing run and played like
fucking
500 well. Yeah.
But they beat us by 5 games. And how much you want to bet those 5 games got lost in the fucking front office and Craig Counsell fucking around with his bullshit lineups. And this is the thing that I wanted to get to after, like, Eric, what you were talking about with Pat Murphy saying, oh, well, they have more money and they do this and they do that. They're setting this shit up the same way Counsell sets his stuff up. They're making decisions that if they lose, they can say, well, that's what the numbers told us, right? Like, I put Justin Turner into the fucking second game of that series, not because he's better than Michael Busch, but because the numbers tell us that Michael Busch can't hit a lefty, which, by the way, is wrong.
They build an 88-win team, which could win 93 or it could win 83. Yep. And that is it. That is what they do. And year after year, they will build that team over and over and again. That's
and they expect the players to do something special when the management is sitting there going, you know what?
You're only
I have a fucking algorithm, and I am going to play you according to the algorithm. I don't care who you are. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Look over there. Don't look at me, you motherfuckers. You are a number, and that's all you are. And you will fucking play like the number that I want you to fucking play like, and get the fuck out of here.
Now, this is
all
funny.
They care about.
I want to ask you, Elo. Now, there's some drunk guy in the stupid shuttle back who is really saying some bullshit, but he did say one thing that I kind of perked my ears, which was, fuck Craig Counsell. Pat Murphy's a gut guy. He goes with his gut, not like Counsell. Do you agree with Drunk Man's assessment right before he?
I 100% with Drunk Guy's assessment. And it kind of goes into what I was just going to say is like, and what Danny just said is like, they could be an 83-win team or a 93-win team, but that team isn't winning a World Series. You took our manager to beat the Brewers, paid him $8 million a year to win that division and beat the Brewers, and you didn't. An 83 team and a 95-win team, it's like Cubs fans want to win World Series. Your ownership in that front office is going to be A-okay with just being the Brewers year over year over year over year with just a higher payroll. And that is fucking sad. And for Cubs fans to say this is a moral victory, fuck you. And getting Craig Counsell, who started in the front office with fucking Stearns, who's at the Mets, who's one of the best analytic guys, and he turned that franchise around. They stole him from us. And you know what Craig Counsell's great at? Following direction from the front office. And he will follow those numbers, and he won't play with his gut, and you've seen him, it's like when he trusts his gut, there's uncertainty to it. A guy that goes into press conferences and says, every other word is not confident in his gut and how he feels and what he has to say because he's protecting his ass and he's protecting that front office more than he's going with his gut and protecting those players. And that's just the honest truth. And Pat, team first guy, goes for it, does shit on a whim. Freddie Peralta went to him last night and said, give me another inning. He gave him another fucking inning. You know what? He gave up a run, but he went with his dog and he gave him another inning.
Yeah, I don't know. Pat Murphy was still playing some of those numbers games. He maybe doesn't do it to the extent that
they all do, but they still. It's like at the end of the day, but he's on that bench and he's going, I'm going to go with Peralta for an extra inning, even though they know that I should pull him, and it fucking backfired on him. You know, and sometimes those analytics work. Putting that starter up front so that Mizorowski does well. Like there's things you go by, right? But there's games like game 3 against you guys, and we have fucking Kittredge in there. We're like, why? Or not Kittredge. I can't remember his name. This
on the Brewers?
Yeah, the
Patrick.
No, the center fielder. Like we started like 2 guys that just had no reason to be in there.
Oh yeah,
Lockridge. Sorry.
Lockridge. Yeah, he wasn't even on this last team, right?
No.
Yeah,
and it's it's one of these things. It's like we're not putting Jake Bowers in, who's like our best hitter, to what? Keep Yelich in? To what? Save face because numbers show? Like, what are we doing?
See, and I guess that's some of the things that I was talking about. Like there were some weird things going on in that Brewers thing that I was just like, this doesn't seem right. Like, but I don't know enough about the Brewers, right? Because I don't watch them every single day.
You can do analytics, but we have guys that can play multiple positions, and we're deep, and we have depth, and we steal bases, and they play great deep. I'm not saying you guys play great defense too, but there's multiple options, and we've done it all season. You know, so like we kind of know what works.
I always say you start with the numbers. You start with the numbers. Look at the numbers. Figure out the numbers. Understand the numbers. And then move from there. You do not end with the fucking numbers, which is exactly how Counsell does it. And I agree with you, Wheelo, in that I don't think Murphy does it to the extent that Counsell does it.
No, he doesn't.
But he was doing a few things out there that I was like, this seems weird.
What's the track record for Craig that shows you he's a good playoff manager? He did shit with the Brewers.
He was terrible with the Brewers.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the expectation that he just comes to the Cubs and with more money spent on players that's like underproduced, that it's going to get done? It's just
we're unconvinced.
Well, like to say it's our World Series is like hiring Craig was to beat us. We're your World Series now. Like with this front office and with this ownership, it's beating the Brewers as your World Series. And I'm sorry to say it, we're deeper than you. We got a lot better, younger pitching than you. So unless you make a bigger splash in free agency like the Dodgers, then guess what? It's going to be game on year after year. And I'm going to tell you 9 times out of the 10, the Brewers are going to come out on top. So like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Look,
no one's picking the Cubs next year.
No.
Oh, because now guess what? Now, you want Bellinger back? Like
I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day with some of that shit.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we're talking about Tucker and
that's what Tucker's going to do. He's going to go sign with the Yankees and he's going to go rake and he's going to win them a World Series. You're going to go, what if? You going to bring Schwarber back? What are we doing?
Sitting home too.
You want Schwarber back?
Yankees sitting home too. You know, similar kind of.
Schwarber is not coming back.
Yeah, Schwarber's
the only way Schwarber comes back is if we give him more money than. If we give him
too proud to
what
do
anybody
it.
else gives
him.
You're
might
too proud to do it.
Well, Jed is the king of getting back all of the guys that he traded away at a different time, you know, and not that he traded Schwarber, but he, you know, would trade a guy like Candelario. Oh, get him back, you know. And
but those are guys that don't have a choice. Their team traded them. Kyle Schwarber has a choice, and his choice is not going to be go to the team that just fucking walked away from me.
No, come join the Brewers and come beat the Cubs.
No, he's going to go to the fucking Reds. If he's going to go to the Central, if I'm Kyle Schwarber,
Middletown, Ohio,
go to the Central, I'm going to the Great American Ballpark and I'm hitting Great American bombs.
Yeah,
what I was seeing more of from the Cubs' response was more about that L than the L that this should feel like for you guys and like what next year looks like and what the future looks like. There's not enough talk like this going to Cubs fans, and this isn't me shitting on you guys. I hope
we're abused. We're an abused franchise.
I know.
Yeah,
but Like the focus is on the wrong thing. Like I get it for a couple days and I get the trolling about it, but we're still in it. We still have a game tomorrow. Like we're still playing. You're not. Like that's what it is.
Well, we haven't been playing for a couple weeks, to be fair. You see these games? Oh my God. They really. Well, let's can we wrap it up?
We've got all these assholes out here, trying to make themselves feel better. Like, and part of the way that they make themselves feel better is to try and make themselves feel like, oh, well, we're still better than the Brewers because at least we didn't fly a fucking L flag.
That's the ego every time. And then just live with 2016 over and over and over again. And guess what you become?
Hey, it works for the Chicago Bears. It's going to work for us. 40 fucking years we're doing this.
What do you have?
What do you have? What are you holding on to right now?
Nothing. I'm glad it's off season, to be honest. Yeah. In fact, let's take it to commercial because I've got to go relive my Bud Selig experience offline.
Oh my God,
Cotton! So
you're gonna go take a shit? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I gotta live my Bud Selig experience. But
I forgot. Yes, we have a Sun Ranto silhouette. Who's that? Cubby, right there. Oh, this is clearly an old baseball card. Player played in the outfield. So if you have an idea of who this is, put it in the chat, and we will reveal this after the break.
So, Eric, you going to stick around? Or you going to take off? Because we're not going to talk about your stupid Brewers anymore.
Oh, what are you going to talk about?
We had Jed Hoyer
why the Cubs couldn't catch the Brewers.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But also, I know Michael's got a whole thing about Justin Turner and Ian Happ. Some riveting stats from Michael. And then I'm just going to give you some dates for shit we're coming up. Coming up. So, but that's why I wanted you to give you an opportunity to plug something.
Oh, all right. So I'm still in Milwaukee. We're still here. We're still doing it. I'll have a show at Oak Brewery in West Allis on Sunday. Show starts at 7. Come check that out. Season 3 of Glory Days with Johnny Manziel through Almost Friday Media. That should be launching October 30th. Besides that,
when are you going to sell these people the Sun Ranto show? We will make you the third host. We will put you in there. You just need to fucking tell them that we're here. We're
here. We're here. We'll get Johnny on. We'll try our best.
So go to West Allis, watch Eric be funny, and listen to the Johnny Manziel Glory Days pod.
I'll say this: hanging out with the Ranters for that Game 5 was great. We had an amazing time. Sarah Sanchez, shout out to her. She gave me the scorecard from the game. That was
we got to have a picture of that. Yeah,
that was so sweet of her. Above and beyond, I did not expect that, and that's something you keep forever and you cherish forever. So it was awesome of her.
The World Series scorecard.
Don't ruin the sweet moment Sarah had with your bullshit.
Hey, there you go. Okay, I want to know what you bought. Like, what was the drink that she got for the PCA bet? Oh, like a margarita, or
you know what? Honestly, I said I get her one at the game, but it was so busy I didn't get her one. So I still owe Sarah a drink. I still owe you a bottle of Malort. It turns out old Wheelo over here doesn't pay his bets. So
Welching like Bernie the Brewer.
Yeah, this is true. But great season with you guys. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see you soon.
We'll do more shows, and you should come Cubs caroling. I'll write songs especially about the Brewers for you.
You know, and Eric, we always do appreciate having you on the show as well, because you cannot make pearls without some friction, some aggravation in that gut, and you, my friend, are that, and that makes the Ranters the pearls they are.
No, I love to hear it.
So here's a couple of commercials. One is for Patreon. You should join us, Patreon.
Oh, Brewers.
Bleacher Bunch. And then we've got In the Clutch shirts, where you should buy all your shirts. We'll be right back.
The Bleacher Bunch brings you great shows like Sun Ranto, Cubs PS Plus, Bricks Behind the Ivy, Cup of Cubby Blue, and Baseball Rabbit Hole. But you could be getting so much more when you subscribe to our Patreon page for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/bleacherbunch. Get access to our exclusive daily show Cubs Pod, where we recap every single game. Plus, be the first to hear Cubs music, get early access to events, and receive an invitation to join our Discord Cubs community, where fans just like you show up every day to rant and rave about our beloved boys in blue. Most importantly, 10% of your Patreon pledge will go directly to help the Lost Boys Youth Baseball program. So join us. There are perks at every level, like the Renter Calendar, absolutely free, and name recognition for you or your business. We are independent Cubs podcasters, and we need your support. Otherwise, we'll quit. Seriously, we'll all quit. Some of us might even die from your lack of support. In fact, the cutest little puppy you've ever seen will die if you don't support the Bleacher Bunch at patreon.com/bleacherbunch. We promise to spend all the Patreon money on tickets and beer and all the dog crap we have to buy just to keep our podcast rolling. So give us your money and we'll waste it far better than you will. Patreon.com/bleacherbunch. Free trials are available, but don't do a free trial. Just join, okay? Okay. Patreon.com/bleacherbunch.
In the clutch, in the clutch. Buy t-shirts from In the Clutch. Take it from the Bleacher Bunch. You'll love the shirts from In the Clutch.
In the Clutch shirts are comfortable, stylish, and guaranteed to get you laid. Plus, they're proud sponsors of the Bleacher Bunch. Use promo code BleacherBunch for 10% off your purchase.
Nice to feel and soft to touch. That's why you will get laid so much. Wearing a shirt from In the Clutch. And you can thank the Bleacher Bunch. In the Clutch, in the Clutch. Buy t-shirts from In the Clutch. Remember the code Bleacher Bunch. Save 10% at In the Clutch. In the Clutch. In the Clutch.
In the Clutch shirts actually not really guaranteed to get you laid.
All right, we are back.
All right, I'll put the silhouette back up too.
Yeah, there's the silhouette. And I was looking through the comments during the question, and somebody did get it right. Brett M guessed Randy Hundley. You are in the right era, but not Randy Hundley. And then we also had a Billy Williams in there. Who put that in there? I think, I don't know. But Barry Wern actually got it correct. It's Lou Brock, baby.
Hey.
I figured as long as we're wallowing in our grief and pity, self-pity, all the things, I'm going to throw the Lou Brock out there.
Worst trade in Cubs history.
It really was. And this is a good, like, you could tell this is an old card. This is I believe this is a 1963 card. But, you know, the Cubs uniforms, I like that bear. And I would like to see this.
Dead-eyed bear. That bear's not. It just looks kind of like it's been shot.
That bear's head is mounted on his sleeve.
Yeah, that it really is. So you've got something that you'd like to share about what you found out about, or a theory you have about the Cubs and their use of Ian Happ and their use of Justin Turner and.
Yeah. So. My big thing was, you know, and everybody who follows this show knows that I am constantly on this tip about Ian Happ needs to lead off, right? Like Ian Happ needs to lead off. The Cubs are better with Ian Happ. Ian Happ's numbers, his actual numbers for himself are worse as a leadoff hitter than they are in other spots in the lineup. You would think that would mean that would be worse for the Cubs, but it's not. It's better for the Cubs. And I've always said this, and I figured, you know what? This is my opportunity because the Cubs straight up just cut the season in half. There was a half in which Ian Happ led off and a half when he didn't. Mm-hmm. And I figured I'd jump in there and I would go through, and this is what I did. I literally looked at every single box score, and I checked. Did Ian Happ lead off, and did they win or lose? That's what I wanted to know. But then, as happens, like the baseball rabbit hole, that is my brain. I got in there. I'm like, wait, what about Justin Turner? He might have fucked things up too. And so I'm actually going to start with Justin Turner because his numbers are easy. We're going to go through quick with him. But again, if you ever need a reason for anybody, you need to tell them Justin Turner's the wrong fucking guy to have on this team. Here it is. When Justin Turner played in any games during the regular season for the Cubs were 36-44. They were 8 games under 500 when he played.
Yeah,
so that right
there
there
surprised me. Yeah,
should tell
exactly.
You. As a starter, right? I looked. He started and he played the entire game, all 9 innings. They were 6-13. That's fucking terrible. They were 6-13. The team lost. Wait, like
he started,
double.
Yeah. That's like the Rockies. You might as well be the Rockies then.
Yeah. Now, if he was a starter and then he got replaced, right? Because they did that a lot where they'd put him in against a lefty, and then when they brought a righty in, then they'd bring Michael Busch in. They were actually 14-11, right? So that they actually had a winning record when they removed him from a game. They did better.
We're giving us a chance to win by taking you out.
Yeah. And so then that made me think, okay, then what happened when they replaced a player? So when they put Justin Turner in late in a game, the Cubs were 16-20. They were 14. This is fucking terrible.
I thought leprechauns were supposed to be lucky.
Oh my God. They're only lucky when they are figments of your imagination.
Oh, wow.
If you try to make them real, the only lucky thing you can get is to possibly not see truck nuts. That's it.
Yeah, and you're definitely seeing truck nuts with Justin Turner.
No, he was fucking terrible throughout the year. He is not a good player. The Cubs were worse with him. And I don't give a shit if he's the fucking PCA whisperer. Remember the kid that fucking lost his mind for the last month of the season? Yeah, maybe the fucking leprechaun wasn't doing what you thought he was doing. He shouldn't be on this team. And the fact that they haven't already fired him fucking drives me nuts. I know they're supposed to wait until after the World Series, but they should have fired his ass mid-game at some point.
Then they would have had a chance to win, apparently, according to the numbers. If they would have if they would have fired him in the 5th inning of Game 5, they might have won this game.
Now, here's the thing. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into baseball games. There are so many moving parts. Everything is moving, working differently with other things and whatever. So changing one variable absolutely does not say, oh, well, of course this would have happened.
Right.
But I do want you to think about it. The Cubs were 8 games under when Justin Turner played. 8 games under 500 when he played. They lost the division by 5 games. I'm not saying that they're going to win all 8 of those games.
But even if you win half, you're a lot closer. And yeah.
Exactly. Right? Okay. So now let's move on to Ian Happ. The same thing you need to be thinking about. These numbers I'm about to give you mean what they mean, which doesn't mean a lot because baseball can't be fucking understood through numbers for one player or 2 players. It's all about how everything works together and how fucking things fit together. And this is a good illustration of that because Ian Happ, as I've already told you, has worse numbers as a leadoff hitter, but the Cubs have a better number, and that's wins. And that's the only fucking number I give a shit about, and that's the only number fans should care about. None of us, not a single one of us, would have cared if Ian Happ had a worse season at the plate and they won the division, right? If he was there and they won the division, we'd just be happy that Ian Happ was doing the fucking thing he needed to do to help them win the division. So here we go. Here's the numbers. When Ian Happ led off in a game, and he did this for the first half of the season. The Cubs were 49 and 37. 49 and 37. These are games that he played in and led off.
Okay.
That's 12 games over 500. 49 and 30. That's good. That's really good. And so, in 49 and 37 was not all the games. He actually had a stretch in late April, early May, where he missed 7 games. The Cubs went 6-1 without him. so when he wasn't playing, he went 6-1. Overall, there were 10 games this season that he did not play in any way, and the Cubs were 6-4 in those games. Okay, so that's real easy. It's 600. That's a 600 winning percentage when he just wasn't in the game at all. But again, that's why I'm putting the caveat.
Yeah, but such a small sample size, though. I'm more in like the first half, second half, like. But what happened when he wasn't lead off?
Yeah. Okay. So when he was not the leadoff, and this is amazing, it happened on July 12th, which is my anniversary. So that was the first day in which the Chicago Cubs chose to have Ian Happ play a game but not lead off. It was that game and the next game, and then they went on the All-Star break, right? So it was literally the last 2 games of the half, and it was in New York against the Yankees. They pulled him from that leadoff spot, and from that point on, they were 36 and 29 in the games that he played. Okay? Still above 500. This is still a good team. That's 7 games over 500. It's not quite 12 games over 500. In fact, it is 5 games less than 500. And guess how many games we lost to the Brewers by this year? 5 games. 5 games. Now, look, again, I'm not a fucking idiot, and I know lots of different things happen, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't all hinge on just whether or not Ian Happ starts at the leadoff or not. But it is very interesting that they were 5 games better when he was the leadoff hitter. Of course, that was a little bit longer.
More to me, it's like, why are you leading off Michael Busch all the time? That doesn't make sense to me. It's like now he's just hitting a bunch of solo dogs. More to it, one of your best guys at leadoff would be Nico Horner, maybe against lefties. If you don't, and if you must platoon the Michael Busch situation, why wouldn't it then be Nico Horner up top? Like there are so many other ways you can play this, and and to me, it just the fact is that Ian Happ probably doesn't want to do it. And so that's fine. He's not the leadoff hitter, but he's certainly not the number 3 hitter either. So that Ian Happ's like a number 5, 6 hitter. Maybe, I mean, on certain teams, he could bat freaking 9th. You know what I mean? Like 8th, 9th. He could be the Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson does not hit well enough to be the guy that we thought he might be when they signed him for all that money. So like, there's so much that goes into where Happ has to be in the lineup. I don't know. It's just they're not going to do it. So they like hearing these numbers are just like, well, he's not going to do it. So
I just want to point out, so all the fucking people out there that think Craig Counsell is like this great, amazing.
I don't think anybody thinks that anymore.
There are still people who think
they're bots. All of them are bots.
No,
they're paid for by the Cubs.
Conversations with people who will tell me Craig Counsell didn't have anything to work with, right? They will say that.
Who?
They'll say he just didn't have enough players. He didn't have the right guys.
Well,
he didn't have
that's true.
But even with the guys he did have, he was making the wrong decisions. So it doesn't matter if you give him better guys if he's going to make the wrong decisions. I'm saying the Cubs could have won with this team had the management and front office made better decisions. Prior to Ian Happ getting pulled from that leadoff spot, the Cubs had a .589 winning percentage. Now, the Brewers ended the season with a .599 winning percentage. So if you just look at those two numbers, you're like, well, obviously the Cubs still would have come up short. But here's the thing. The Brewers and the Cubs are in the same division. And so if the Cubs had a 589, the Brewers 599 would have had to come down at least a little bit because some of those wins might have come against the Brewers. And then you end up a much closer thing. I still don't know that they beat the Brewers. I don't. I think the Brewers still probably take it with that 599 or
because of the one run. Yeah. I mean, but maybe the Cubs get on a good trajectory. I mean, I don't know why Ian Happ with his strong, taking lots of pitches, skill with his switch hitting, why he won't be the leadoff hitter. Like if I was playing, if MLB the Show and you can make your lineup every day, like you're putting Happ in leadoff. You're like, well, he's a switch hitter. I mean, it's gonna help me out here. And he's got some speed. He's like a good all around player. We'll put him up top, get him a bunch of bats. He'll watch a bunch of pitches. He's got a good eye.
The Cubs were 568 this season. That was their winning percentage. When Ian Happ was the leadoff hitter, they were 569.
Nice.
And when he was not the leadoff hitter, they were 553. This is not enough of a statistical difference to just like change the world. But you know what? Those are the kind of statistical differences that they use to make rules like, how about we have pitchers see 3 batters? How about we use the DH in both leagues? The fucking numbers are so close.
Yeah.
You don't have to actually make a decision based on it. They do it because they're fucking idiots and they don't really know the numbers. But my thing is, you could have had just a slightly better team winning percentage with Ian Happ, and that could have gotten you over the hump with the fucking Brewers, who own our asses because our fucking management treats our players like numbers and don't know how to manage them.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like watching them at this point, by the time the season ended, I was just like sick of looking at them because of all the things that like you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, I'm so tired of talking about this team being mediocre at when they could be good, like with really identifiable. Not even if they could spend a little bit more money and get the players on the fields. They could be a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive about moving up some of their younger players, giving some life to the team. They could be a little bit more aggressive on taking some chances at the trade deadline or free agents. Like Jed said again at his presser, how pitching was so expensive and like couldn't get pitching. Well, it seems like other teams freaking went out there and got a little bit of pitching. Like, it seems like,
right.
Jack Flaherty or even before the season, like, well, before the season, I guess we should have gotten some. I'm like, well, every single podcast that talks about the Cubs, we're like, hey, you guys got the money, you just got rid of Bellinger, and then you're not gonna spend that $30 million, and they're like, oh no, we'll save it for the trade deadline. Then you bring us Mike Soroka, like, what? And Willie Castro, who didn't even factor into anything,
And that was the thing. It's like all these guys they could have gotten, they didn't go get. Because for whatever reason, they were like, these are the guys we want. They had a few guys that they wanted. And then they tried to play the game that like, well, they wanted too much for us to get them. So we just didn't do anything. Well, you could have gone out and got some of the other pitchers that moved for less, but they weren't in on those, I guess. I don't know.
It was just too late. And they had guys at the time. And, and even when they, like you say, they didn't even put Assad on this team. Now, maybe he's hurt. Maybe something's going on. Assad didn't pitch a lot this year because of injuries. So who knows what's going on with Assad. So I'm not going to necessarily second guess that all the way. But like, you're telling me you couldn't have used Javier Assad in this 5-game series against the Brewers to give you a few innings in the middle of all this garbage? It's like, no, we're going to use the same guys every day. And they did well, for the most part. Our guys did pretty good, except for Shota.
Or Colin Ray.
Who they didn't.
Colin Ray couldn't start a fucking game 1 because, he pitched an inning
Yeah, but then when they
earlier?
do let him pitch, they keep him out there like one batter too long. When you didn't have him in there in the first place, so he wouldn't face the guy you let him face, and then when you finally let him face him, which you shouldn't ever have done because you already had decided not to let him face that guy, and then you did it anyway. Because oh god, that's what I'm saying. I'm so frustrated with how this whole year went.
Thing they did
I'm
with
talking
Shota.
about these dumbass motherfuckers. They're so shitty. They're just so. But I think about it all the time. Like I don't know what I'm more angry about. You know, the fact that they lost to the Brewers, or the fact that like they beat themselves in many respects.
And that's the thing, Danny. That right there, what you just said, they beat themselves, and I think a lot of people think what we're talking about is the players, but it's not. Like I think early in the season, the first half of the season, I think these players showed that they could 100% take this division and be real contenders. But I have been saying since day one that this team is going to have to play better than their management allows them, because they get hindered all the time, you know, and that's the thing that's super frustrating. Like what you're talking about, you're upset about this. I'm upset about this because we're seeing players that could be better, except for how the front office runs the team, and that puts them in a bad spot. And if you know enough about it, it ruins your enjoyment of it. Because if you're a fucking idiot and you're just sitting there like, well, you know, they won 92 games and it was fucking great. Like, that was fucking awesome. Like, they won so many more games and they were in the thing. But people who watch this shit every day, like us, we're like, oh my God, this team could have won 100 games and they could have fucking been going to the World Series.
Yeah.
But they're not. And then I do want to point out here. Yes, Bill, I know. Bill Sugas says those stats are not statistically significant. And then he says need at least 1,000. I know all of that. And that's why I said these things that I'm going to tell you, like, they don't make everything. But you don't have those sample size in a single season. And in fact, I would argue even every single at bat is a significant point that is not replicable. And so you can't look at stats to know what's going to happen in that bat. That's a unique place in time.
Yeah.
And if you're going to use these numbers to make these fucking decisions, like, I get it. Like, you start with the numbers. But as Bill points out rightly, those numbers can't give you enough information to make the decision. You have to look at other things. You have to try and understand how the whole team works versus.
Well, that's what they think they're doing, you know, with their models.
I don't think though.
They are trying. They're trying.
I don't.
They're doing.
I think they look at individual things and then they say, okay, I have numbers that are going to back up whatever I do here, but I'm not actually thinking about how this interacts with other things, right?
Tracy agrees. The front office holds them back, and it's by not giving them the personnel to succeed, and then just milking the guys that they have for all they're worth, and then you just wear them out. What
did Rizzo say in that interview?
Yeah, when they didn't get the juice at the trade deadline, that they felt deflated. So when they didn't get the player, so
yeah. And Danny, if you're playing for my team and you show up to play, and I'm like, I'm not putting you in this game because of the pitcher that's out there, does that make you feel more or less confident in your ability?
Yeah, well, Bill Sugar says it right here. Excessive reliance on matchups. Yeah, it's too much. It's like you can't platoon your whole damn team, and then with these bullpen games, we saw it in the playoffs, you know, and they were doing some of that crap at the end of the season too because they were out of guys. So all it takes is one guy to go wrong, and then you're playing like one dude short the entire game because you already used your closer in the fifth, and like, you know, it gets all out of order. Or like you put in the lefty and you're like, oh, it's lefty, and then that lefty walks that guy because he just couldn't find the plate because it's baseball.
Danny,
and then you're just behind and you're wrong the rest of the game, and you just you played yourself. You played yourself.
Danny, you made a really good point in that Tigers Mariners game. You said this is why you don't use your closer in the sixth, because they went 15 innings.
15 innings, exactly.
But I thought that was an amazing point that you made. That everybody says, well, it's playoffs. You manage completely differently. Well, you can fuck yourself that way too.
Yeah. Oh, and they did. So I want to share a link. Speaking of fucking ourselves, I want to get to this because we're running late.
Right, and I'm done with my things. And trust me, people, I know those numbers will not hold up to like strong scrutiny. They are correlation, but the correlation, it's there. It is fucking there. Like
the Hap is less convincing than the Turner for me, but I mean, Hap just shouldn't bat third. That's all I'm saying. You laid out your numbers. I don't think there's enough of a discrepancy in those numbers, but I think it makes sense just even in your heart of hearts and probably on paper, even from an OBP standpoint. Once again, I think you're going too granular. I think that the actual answer is the most obvious. He is a switch hitter. He has good on-base percentage. He sees a lot of pitches. He should be the first batter. Like, you will succeed if you have that. He makes everybody else behind him better because he will see two more pitches. And so that is really more what I'm saying. But you do not give that a chance to unfold, so you will never know what had happened. And it's just an alternate universe. I
agree. You are saying, you and I are thinking the exact same thing. You are 100% correct. I'm just the only reason I'm trying to put numbers to this thing is because
I don't think you can.
People want the numbers to prove something, right? And I'll tell you right now, I was halfway through this shit and I thought I'm going to be proven wrong. And I will tell you,
you can find it's like statistically not a thing, and you're like, oh well, that doesn't mean that I'm wrong though. You know,
but I seriously at one point I did think I was going to end up with Hap actually the team having a better record or a better winning percentage with Hap not in the leadoff, right? Because it is very close. I mean, really, you're within 15 points or something like that.
Well, if you really want to talk about it, your number one OBP is like, it would not matter. OBP used to be the main thing. OBP and speed. That's what you want up top. See a lot of pitches. Your number one is actually Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
377 OBP. Then you got Horner. Then you got Bush, and then Hap. But they are within 3 percentage points of each other.
And
even say a Suzuki could see a lot of pitches.
And those things don't make sense in that order, right? Like having Kyle Tucker as your leadoff guy wouldn't make sense.
It makes just as much sense as Michael Bush.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I will say it drives me insane. And unfortunately, I am proven wrong most of the time. It drives me insane that Ohtani hits leadoff. I fucking hate that.
Yeah, I mean, but then you're looking at your 8-9 hitter and you're trying to figure that out. And then that makes some sense if you get some OBP guys down there. Yeah. But we don't have those guys down there either. So they all batted 8.98.
David Elliott says, we've got a whole team of leadoff hitters.
Yeah. Got a whole team of Applebee's employees is what we have. So
we got a bunch of guys looking for walks. We have a fucking travel ball team. For real,
afraid to swing the bat.
Little leaguers who don't want to swing the bat.
Yeah, as Miguel would say, bate al hombro, bat on the shoulder. All right, I'm going to share a link in the chat, and this link may or may not self-destruct upon reading. So we all know about this No Kings protest that's happening all over the country, and even all over the world. There's people having this, the people that don't want kings. Anyway. Obviously, there's a lot of bullshit that's happening in the city right now. We've been invaded. I mean, there's a palpable tension that's happening here in the city. That reporter that showed her butt crack to the world when they tackled her to the ground and then
The
arrested her.
WGN reporter, right?
Yeah, well, she wasn't really that. Like, there was all of this misinformation, surprise, surprise. And then in the end, they said she was throwing shit. She was not. They just released her with no charges, not even drop charges, no charges. Is grabbed her, threw her to the ground. That's 2 blocks from my house. That's the point I'm trying to make. That is 2 blocks away from me. This shit's happening all the time. We have anyway, there's a lot of shit going on, and it like seems to be like nobody's really acting very reasonably right now from the administration. So basically what I'm trying to say is I invited earlier in the week that I thought it'd be fun if a bunch of Cubs fans who wanted to be a part of this march, against the Kings, having a king in America, if you wanted to be a part of this, we go march together. But, just giving how things are these days and how I do not trust the government at all right now and to do the right thing in this situation, and that they're looking really for any excuse to, bring down the hammer on anybody. Like, basically, if you show up at this march, you are Antifa. That's what they are saying now. If you go to any of these marches, you're an Antifa. 80 million Antifa members. Anybody, you voted for Kamala Harris, Antifa. And it's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. Even most Republicans know it's bullshit. But I guess what I'm saying is I made this part a full event, but it is subject to change. I know the people that are on there. I'm going to contact you all personally. This has all been very public. Some people have joined on who I don't know, but I think I know how to contact them. So I don't, are we meeting there at that place? I don't know. I will contact you. I may change the time or tell everybody I don't think is a very safe thing to do.
Right. Be cognizant of everything happening all the way up to the moment that you're going to do it. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. So just like keep in touch with me. You know how to contact me. You can email me. I think that's still maybe only under some surveillance, but email me at DannyRocket with 2 T's at gmail.com if you would like to attend with us, because I thought it'd be fun. But at the same time, I kind of maybe think that we shouldn't wear Cubs stuff. I think that maybe you should just blend into the crowd and just be a body and use your voice, but nothing else, just so you're not identifiable. Even wear a mask, because they're going to have all the stuff of stupid facial recognition and all that crap. So, we were the ones wearing masks in 2020. We could do it again now.
Yep.
Face gaiters, bandanas, things like that. So do what you're comfortable with. I would love to go in a group because I think there is safety in numbers. I think that it's an important thing to go out and talk about because, there are a lot of norms that are being broken right now that I am personally pissed off about, because it's happening right in my city. It's happening in the city the Chicago Cubs play baseball, so that should matter to Cubs fans, that this would be happening to us here, and it is happening to us. Like, we are victims of our government right now by literal Nazis going around finding brown people, anybody looks Hispanic, and asking questions later. And they've already killed a bunch of people. And our ownership, MAGA, are as MAGA as fuck, and they support this shit. And that's why I thought it'd be fun to wear a Cub shit, go down there, stick it to the Ricketts, but it might not be safe. Do what you want. I'm between either wearing this cape and a helmet, where you can see up there that you can kind of see.
The helmet's a great idea.
Yeah,
if
it's
you have a
construction
helmet.
Yeah, construction hat.
Or
basically, wearing a face gaiter
or maybe
and a baseball hat and sunglasses. Yeah.
A blow up Clark the Cub
pantsless
costume. That'd be amazing. No, I will actually be going to the Iowa City version of this. So we are also here in Iowa City going to be having a No Kings protest. I will be down there that day. Unfortunately, I can't make it all the way out to Chicago for this. So I'll be doing my own thing in Iowa City, but if you see me around, I've been debating on what I'm going to wear. I'm thinking about wearing military stuff that says original 1940s Antifa.
Yeah. I like it. The only thing that I would guard against that is that right now you might resemble too much ICE, who are the people running around kidnapping people. I realized I was wearing a camouflage hat the other day, and I saw people looking at it in a way. And I was like, oh, I look like a camo just says like military says could be tackled anytime.
And that's why I said like I would have a big sign.
Yeah, you need a sign
saying
pink, like bright
Antifa.
pink, orange, like a neon, light up something.
Because if people don't get it, like literally, my grandfather fought in World War II.
Yeah, they fought Nazis.
He fought Nazis. He fought against the fascists, and that's where we're at. And I'm a veteran, and part of me being in the military was that we were against this bullshit. And just because I'm not in the military now doesn't mean that shit's changed. Like, I'm still going to honor my family and my country by fighting against this bullshit however I can,
Yeah.
And the hard part is for all of us who are sitting here, how do we fight against it? And one way is to show up together and make a noise, let people know that you're not cool with this, be a part. You are not one person in a million. You are part of that million. You don't get to that million unless you're there. And so show up so that you make all of that bigger, because 20 people show up,
needs to get
nobody
bigger,
gives a shit.
and then the next one that we should do next week, in fact, should be even bigger than that. And the problem that I have with these marches, and I don't want to get totally into it, is that there's not necessarily clearly defined goals of what happens from the march.
Right.
It's just being like, hey, we don't like this, fuck you. It's like, and that's fine. I think that's important. But at some point, you look at the Montgomery bus boycott, you look at the Gandhi Salt March, you look at actual civil these aren't even civil disobedience. These are boycotts, where you're like, well, I'm going to walk instead of taking your stupid bus that you're racist on, so there's things we could do. I think, general strikes, there's not shopping. You're just stopping shopping. Don't buy shit you don't need, period. End of story. There's things that can help do. I mean, I certainly don't give the Cubs any money. I try to take money from them as much as I possibly can. I flush the toilet when I'm in the bathroom, but there's things that we have to do to kind of disrupt things right now because they're just not stopping. They don't seem like they're on a reasonable trajectory right now. It doesn't seem like a reasonable trajectory. So we have to just kind of like, whoa, Nelly. And I love what they're doing in Portland with the giant inflatable outfits. I think that's the right way to do it. You got to make these people look foolish because they're way over militarized. They have way too many weapons to go up against a man in a blow up dinosaur costume. And everybody can see that on its face, how stupid it looks. And, they took away Robbie Road Steamer today. Did you see that? That guy that is in the giraffe and he's singing all these songs. They freaking grabbed him. They nabbed him. ICE came over the line that they said he had to be behind. He was behind it, and they grabbed him. So these people are unreasonable. They are Nazis. And
all over everything, and hopefully that will spark some. Like, you just have to be out there, hoping it's going to spark something. And I will tell you something about those inflatable costumes. If they are firing non-lethal rounds at you, inflatable costumes will not stop that, but it will help.
Yeah,
and
a little bit.
Anything that helps is good. And if your face is behind a mask, pepper spray and tear gas, it will help.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I've had tear gas, and
you just won't be able to see.
Just having contacts in your eyes helps. I've had to deal with it with and without, and it's better with contacts than like glasses and stuff.
Yeah, and everybody's got to be careful too at this time, and only do as much as you're comfortable with. And this is a long fight. There's no reason to go into this like gangbusters right now. We have to do it together, otherwise it's not going to be doable. And speaking of that, I do want to invite everybody that can come, and I'm going to share the link to this in the chat too. It's and look at the Lost Boys Twitter too. And I believe it's probably on their Facebook. They have their annual general organizational meeting, and they wanted the Ranters to be a part of it. I guess Levante's going to give us some kind of award or something like that, and for helping them out all these years. And they're having a brunch at Haymarket Brewery, which is down on Randolph Street, 737 West Randolph. This is on November 22nd. That's a Saturday, and it's going to be a brunch. So it's like a champagne brunch, and it's $50 a person. And you get brunch and champagne out of the deal. So a pretty good deal. And they're raising money for Lost Boys at the same time. And we're getting an award. So I told Levante, I'm like, you know, I could speak for 2 tables, which is 10 people total. So I'm hoping that I'll put tickets for sale soon. Anybody that's a ranter, I could probably get more tables, but anybody that's a ranter that would like to attend this and like be a part of us winning this award, because it's all of our award, I would love to have you guys all there. And, you know, this is just, you know, this makes me feel good that we're doing this with Levante when, you know, you got other people doing horrible shit to us. Then you have like these good people in this city trying to make life better. So, you know, got to support the Levantes of the world. And that's what we're going to do on the 22nd. If we are all not in Antifa jail.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be there.
And then the other thing is,
and I'd just like to see everybody and hang out.
It would be awesome. And so I told Levante 2 tables. So let's make that happen. I'll put tickets for sale. I'll publicize this as much as I can. Cubs caroling, December 20th. That is a Saturday, December 20th. It is the shortest day of the year, pretty much. It's 20th or 21st.
The 20th or the 21st is usually the solstice.
Yeah. So that's what's that's when we're gonna do it, December 20th. So get your ideas ready for a lot of fodder. It's been a frustrating year. Like we got to do a Travel Ball Boys song.
You know,
Here
in my
comes
house,
Travel Ball. Here comes Travel Ball.
Yeah, in my house, we do a solstice party every year where we invite our neighbors and we invite people over, and we eat and drink and, you know, hang out. And I have a fire, and in the fire we write down things that we don't like from the year before, right? Things that we want to get rid of, things we want to like mentally just get rid of, and we throw them in the fire.
It's like the burning of the ball.
Exactly like the burning of the ball, but it's like a personal thing. You don't have to share it with anybody or whatever. So I don't know that we can do that with like a fire, but you know, maybe somebody brings a lighter and we stand by the curb or something. But I think that would be kind of like fun to do. Is we're getting together, and
I think adding fire to anywhere near Mai Tai guy is usually a pretty bad idea. You know, he is flammable.
Yes, he is.
So just I will make an event for that, and so basically, and then if you count Cubs Con, there's pretty much something every month. There's No Kings. We can hang out on Saturday if we do it. Then there's the Lost Boys right before Thanksgiving, and then Cubs caroling right around Christmas, and then there's Cubs Con, and then we're in spring training.
Because when you're a ranter, there's no off season.
No. In fact, we just rant more. Yeah.
We have never stopped. How many years have you been doing this now, Danny? 13? I think I'm on 12 or 11 or
13. I think. Yeah, 2012 was the first one.
We're well over a decade now, and there's no off season. We just keep doing this. We just keep doing it. We just keep going. And
you probably will take a few shows off, though. I think in this off season,
we'll take a few shows off in the fucking time. But that's another thing which we haven't talked about. But start getting your Christmas carols ready.
Yeah,
because we will have our special Christmas show where we show your awesome videos of you singing amazing songs. And don't worry, people, I will have at least one song, and you will more than likely not be able to do worse than what I do.
Well, do you know who's submitting a song this year?
Obama went on Mark Maron And after Donald Jr. comes Barron. We don't want a king. Brewers don't get a ring because of an L flag and Karen.
Did he try to bite me?
I don't know, but I think that might have been the greatest Cubstradamus ever.
And took all the way till now. Took 13 years,
Many years
for him to write a decent poem. All right. Hashtag chance in the chat, of course. I did want to say happy birthday, Captain Cubbo, Roberto Ramos. It is his birthday today. So,
happy birthday, Captain Cubbo. Keep,
and my mom's
ball hawk corner out there.
My mom's post hummus birthday is tomorrow. So I just ordered some mom shrine stuff. I got to go down there, soup it all up for the Halloween festivities. So I've got some solar lights that I'm going to switch out all the lights. It's looking baseball-y right now. I'm going to make it look spooky for the for the at least this holiday. Then I'll make it look Thanksgiving-y. Then I'll make it look Christmassy.
Is there anything spookier than your dead mother haunting that corner for fucking well over a year now?
Yeah, well, it's been fun. People enjoy it. In fact, some guy came up to me and said he is making coffee table book of shrines that he sees. He's got pictures of shrines from all over the world. And he's going to make a coffee table book someday. And he walks by this shrine all the time. He thinks it's one of the finest shrines. He loves that I change it up all the time. And, but he had no idea it was me. He's like, is this your shrine? And we sat and talked. And a lot of people come up and like, I pass this every day. I just love seeing it.
It is awesome. I've been out there a number of times this year to see it. And it's cool. It's a really interesting, neat thing that is very honestly, I'm completely surprised it's still there.
Yeah,
because I thought at some point some official
coming.
or somebody would come and take that thing down, but
ICE will take it.
Yeah, it's holding together and it's staying up, and I love it. I think lots of other people love it, and it's a conversation starter. And like this dude is noticed. It's a shrine in the middle of Chicago that even when people don't know the story behind it, they understand the significance of it,
Yeah.
And I think it speaks to everyone in its own way. It's great.
So I got a couple of TFCs and then we'll hashtag chances. So hashtag chance in the chat and then we'll get the hell out of here. But I liked, first of all, did you see that Pope Leo the 14th was talking trash in the room? Someone in the crowd said, "Go Cubs," and Pope Leo the 14th said, "Han perdido," they lost. Which
I love it. I 100% love it. Look, when you're a fan, you're a fucking fan. And that's how you know you're a fan, when you're the goddamn Pope and you're in the middle of thousands of people and somebody says, "Go Cubs." He's like, "Fuck you, Cubs lost."
Like the Cubs, yeah. And he's the Pope. He's the leader of like 2 billion Catholics. Does not give a fuck. He's like, fuck the Cubs.
Yes, I'm a Cubs fan, but I would have, let's face it, I don't have any respect for a fucking Pope anyway, but I have more respect for him because he's willing to,
as a person, to
just do that. Yeah.
So then I did enjoy this. This isn't really a TFC, but I did enjoy the fact that, Sam Bernero, she had an article written about her in the Sun-Times. She's out there taking pictures, doing the Lord's work, taking the selfies of these candid pictures of these players coming in and out of the ballpark. And she took a picture of Cade Horton arriving postseason at Wrigley, and he had a crock pot with him. And he said, "Going home, I got a bunch more." Oh, no, she was going home, not him. But anyway, Cade Horton brings his own crock pot to Wrigley. And Evan Altman said, "The crock pot is cracking me up." I'm like, what? That is pretty funny. Bring your own crock pot.
It really is funny. And it does make me want to know. Like, this is the shit that I want to know. I could give a fuck about Cade Horton's ribs or how he pitched or the things he feels about the game. I want to know about the crock pot.
I want to know what he's cooking. Yeah.
If I was in like one of those scrums where all the reporters are asking questions, I'd be like, "Why did you bring the crock pot?" It's the only thing I want to know.
So then my last one is here. Evan Casey was at Wrigley Field, had a terrible seat behind a pole, but he could see the pitcher and the battery's fine. And he said
he just couldn't see Nico.
He said, just paid $14.39 for a 12-ounce coffee at Wrigley Field. I have never hated the Cubs more. And Born on Third retweeted and said, so you saw the price, said to yourself, I'm going to buy this so I can take a picture of my drink, dork, and post it on the internet and complain about it. Why? People are dumb, ridiculously dumb attention whores.
People are fucking dumb attention whores. Oh, God.
Mean,
social media.
I would never pay $14.39. You could buy a nice pound of coffee for $14.39.
I won't buy a fucking beer for $14.39 anymore. Like, I'm done with that bullshit. I do not buy beer at Wrigley, so I'm damn sure not buying a fucking coffee for that much. Yeah. And Danny, that coffee tastes like shit.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, I was thinking that I'm like, if the one thing that I wish that they did have at Wrigley was a good coffee stand where there'd be pre-made drinks, but I think iced coffee would go great. Iced coffee, they don't have it.
Well, that's one of many things that Wrigley needs
doesn't have, yeah.
Because they don't have hardly any good food or drink options at all. Like it's really bad. I mean, I guess I shouldn't only blame this on the Ricketts because it's been like this forever, but when you have a bunch of conservatives who don't fucking like think outside of any boxes, like they aren't thinking about like, oh, it would be cool to offer coffee to people who don't drink, or offer sodas to people who don't drink. Like they just, how much money can we take from these people? That's the only thing in their minds.
Yeah, but a $14.39 for a coffee does seem pretty extreme.
That is really extreme.
I mean, I paid like $6 at the Paris airport and been like, ugh. Yeah, but $14.39, like, oh my God. All right. Well, hashtag chance in the chat, last chance to get in the chance, and then we'll end this sucker and we'll be back at some other point in this off season.
Guy Serious says for $14.39, maybe the coffee sucked. Good coffee would be $25.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, you want the premium? All right. Someone's gonna win this sucker.
All right, somebody's gonna win something here.
David Elliott.
Hey, David. It's been a little while since David's won one of these.
Yeah, it's been a mo.
Yeah, congratulations.
So thanks to all our Patreon subscribers, especially Blake Beard, Rogue Wave Creative, and of course all the other shows on the Bleacher Bunch, Mike Waller's PS Plus, Bricks Behind the Ivy, and Cubs
Baseball
Pod,
Rabbit
Baseball
Hole,
Rabbit
Cup
Hole.
of Cubby Blue.
Yeah. And we also got Matt Kammer. His art is on my shoulder and all over our walls. And he sponsors this show. So does
I've got that. And then slide it up there. Oh, look. Ernie.
Oh,
above it all.
Good. He made it. He's in. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for being a part of it all. I don't know which song to play. I didn't really think about it before I came. How about let's do some little Basket Man. Why not?
The basketball, it's maybe, you know what? Next show, let's talk about, let's come up with like
the top 10 moments of 2025.
Top 10 moments, top 3 or something.
Yeah, but maybe it has to be 3. Yeah, otherwise it'll be a Dawn Strand marathon show.
Basket Man is one of the top, it's definitely one of the top moments of the year.
By far the funniest thing that happened, that's for sure.
Yes.
So, all right, well, Spagog, y'all.
Spagog!
He gets the early bleacher line, sits in the first row, out and left, and he will almost die right by Bleacher Jeff. He sits down in the well, rain or shine. He comes to every game, but a ball's gonna fly tonight. He got a little overzealous this time, went for the ball and then he took a dive, wedged between fencing and the outfield wall. Oh no, 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 he's a basket man. Basket man, climbing back to throw a dummy ball. Now he's just as infamous as my Thai guy who stole a basketball and made kids cry. I bet obvious will make him a shirt. Oh no, 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 he's a basket man. Basket man, climbing back to throw a dummy ball. And he's climbing back to throw a dummy ball. And he's climbing back to throw a dummy ball. And he's climbing back to throw a dummy ball. And he's climbing back to throw a dummy ball.